This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we'll begin with the flag salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone to the April 3rd regular Marion County Commission meeting. We begin with public forum. Is there anyone who'd like to make public comments? There's no one in the room, and I see one person online. I don't know if Matt had any comments. All right, we'll move into agenda approval. Any additions or changes to the agenda? If not, it'll stand as presented. Move into administrative business. Tina.
Okay. I have the minutes of March 27th and the minutes of March 31st.
Okay, the commission has had a chance to review any additions or corrections.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion from Commissioner Garing to approve the March 27th and March 31st minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second, Commissioner Crowfoot. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried by a vote. Just trying to get April 1st in there.
And the printed copy, I do have a spelling correction. It's
Here we go.
I do have one salary sheet.
All right. We have one salary sheet to report. It's in the ambulance department. Linda Rutherford, hired as paramedic, $19.48 an hour, effective March 21st, 2023.
Okay, on the March 31st payday, on the payroll, we had an error on insurance enrollment for a new employee. And because we were being reconfigured for open enrollment, that wasn't caught until after payroll. And so we had an employee that was overcharged for their insurance premium. There was a series of items that caused it. But anyhow, we have a special payroll dated today. Overall, it will be a reduction to our March 31st payroll. However, as of today, it's not, because we just have a credit sitting in our system for those insurance payments. But we do need to authorize the issuance of a paper paycheck and the accompanying checks for FICA and unemployment for this to correct the actual pay that needed to go to this individual. So we have a paycheck in the amount of $1,069.56, and then we have an actual, we have checks for FICA for $91.23 and unemployment of $1.19. And so those need approval today, and then we will the overall impact to the grand total payroll will be $1,022.26 once we receive the credit from the insurance company. And so we will give that to you as a net later with the April payroll. But I do need the authority to go ahead with the net pay for the employee and benefits.
Everyone understand or any questions?
So it's 3 checks.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
And there'll be a reimbursement.
I'll move to approve the 3 checks, one in the amount of $1,069.56, one in the amount of $91.23, and one in the amount of $1.19.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Garing. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second from Commissioner Becker. Any other questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0.
Okay. We had received off-system bridge program for the bridge on Eagle Road. We were going to be redoing that bridge, and then the commission decided to see about closing the road. And so we still need to do that process a second time to close that bridge. However, since the program had been approved for off-system funding through KDOT, we need to have the board take action to terminate the project for the big bridge replacement. So that way we can give something official to KDOT to let them know that we are not going to move ahead with that approved project. And I've got the project number circled on here.
Okay, were there any questions from the commission about that process?
What all do we have to repay?
We won't have to repay anything. The only portion that has been paid out is the design.
Okay.
And that's our cost. That was not eligible for
Okay.
program reimbursement.
Other questions? Okay, if not, would there be a motion to approve the cancellation of the KDOT project C5070-01 on Eagle Road?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Garing. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Becker. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll have the minutes that will show
Correct.
the termination of that project. Okay, and then I just have a quick question on the property at 1240 Commercial. Do I remember, Commissioner Crowfoot, did you turn the water off at the building? You haven't, right?
No,
Okay, well, I just want to make sure
we
that.
had the heat on, but
Okay, well, I just want to verify that nobody in here was taking care of anything with the actual water in the building, because we do have utilities turned on over there, but the water's off right now, so. And the water, okay, I was just checking so we can move forward and do what we need to do. We'll have to have the water on before
I
the
didn't know the
sale.
city to do anything.
Okay.
Are we getting billed for water?
Yes. I mean, it's not very much, so I just assumed someone must have turned the water off in
Is
the.
there a valve in the building?
Yeah, probably shut it off for the winter.
Yeah,
so nothing
we'll check
freezes.
into it. I just, I
Yeah.
want to make sure none of the commissioners had done something. And I'm talking to the departments involved, so they're fine. I just wanted to make sure.
I turned the thermostat down to 50.
Okay,
Shut
all
off.
right. That's all.
Oh, okay.
I know that was confusing, so sorry.
Too many people involved, who did what?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And the only other thing that I have under administrative is whether you had any discussion or anything for the planning commission member appointment this week. Okay. Okay, that's all I have.
Now, the commission I heard some discussion earlier about the interest of the commission in doing an appreciation barbecue for employees. I'm seeing 4 nods of interest. Would we want to go ahead and get something organized?
Can you get the cooker in?
I think so. I need to call him for some other stuff, so we'll see.
You want to do that?
Today would have been a perfect day.
Tomorrow will not.
We didn't
Tomorrow
have-
will not be.
We didn't have no hamburgers for today, dang it.
We know, we didn't have the supplies like that. Didn't have the grill like that.
Didn't have the grill.
Blame it on the grill.
You want to try for April yet?
Tina, what would you think for a date?
If you wanna do something this month, that's fine, we can get it.
Why don't you work on a date that would work? We did it last time didn't we do it on a Monday before commission?
I thought we did it on Friday.
We did it on Friday.
No, I think
Oh,
we did it
But we
on
didn't, it went into the
Monday
afternoon.
commission day.
Okay.
Yes.
Just
Yeah,
do
we
it on the
didn't have-
28th.
That's what I was looking
There
at.
we go. How about the 28th?
Have a quick payday meeting and then
Yeah.
go out there and cook.
That would be a good idea.
I'm thinking, do you want to have everybody here at 9 o'clock or?
No, the meal'd still be at noon.
Okay.
Yeah, we just-
Yeah, but I mean.
But just to set stuff up.
Okay.
Give us plenty of time.
Okay. Yeah.
But let's
fine.
tentatively set for 28th unless
Okay.
it comes up noon. Sausage?
Sure.
I'll do hamburgers.
And I'll let you know on the grill.
Grill.
I'll help.
Okay.
How much time do you need for the charcoal? Hour and a half?
Yeah.
So that'll work out pretty good.
All right.
Anything else under administrative?
No.
Okay. Wow, got through administrative really fast. Did Krista happen to be in the hallway? Yes, she is. Hey. Hi, Krista.
Hello.
I'm gonna have you pull the microphone up closer to you. Even up close, it doesn't work very well, so get as close as we can.
I'll catch my breath from the stairs here.
Now, wait a minute, that's telltale sign there.
Well, I need to work on that, don't I?
Normally, we're late, and they were early, so you didn't get much prep time.
I'll pass these around here. So, not on my business agenda, but this week is National Public Health Week, so
Oh.
I'm just gonna pass out some statistics on
Great.
health. And April 7th is World Health Day, so
Okay.
this week as well.
All right.
Okay, so 2,696 vaccines have been administered in the last year. Marion County Health Department provided services to 111 WIC clients in 2022. Since summer 2022, 24 car seats checks took place through the health department. Also, since summer 2022, 22 families have participated in safe sleep education. In 1 year, 135 life jackets were given to children. 38 smoke detectors were given to Marion County residents over the last year. Over the last year, Safe Kids Marion County has given away over 10,000 in safety devices. 47 epidemiology and reportable disease investigations were conducted through the health department over the last year. 22 animal bites and rabies investigations took place over the last year through the health department. Marion County Health Department supported child care expansion by having a delegate serve on the H4C committee, for which is Hillsborough Community Child Care Center. And in 2022, school inspections were conducted for the first time at all K-12 schools, including one private school in the county. So just some stats.
Just to follow up, 2696 vaccines administered.
2,696 vaccines. So those could be anything from COVID to measles, mumps, rubella, polio, Tdap's, flu.
But the majority was COVID.
I wouldn't even go that far. I mean, it was a good portion,
Really?
but I would go,
These are given in the office.
yeah. By our staff in the county.
Because some of it's outreach.
Yep, there was a lot of outreach going
Well, for population of, we're what, 11,
on. 11,700-ish.
11,700.
Did you look on your board?
Email Tina, see what our population was?
Oh, haven't had a chance.
It's 11,000.
Okay, 11,700. That's an amazing statistic. What are, further down, what are epidemiology and reportable disease investigations?
So if, for instance, like Campylobacter, let's say we're notified of a Campylobacter
Look,
case.
I don't.
So food can be foodborne illness, tick bites can
Oh,
cause
okay,
like Lyme disease or rickettsiosis or shigellosis is like also can be a foodborne disease. I'm probably.
No, you're fine.
But things that we get through the state, we get notified either through the state or a doctor's office. A suspected case of mumps fell in that category there, and then we perform a full-blown disease investigation.
Interesting. It just seemed like a high number.
Hepatitis C can fall under that. The state does a lot of those investigations, so that's not even all of our investigations. That's without COVID there, because they started taking over all of those investigations last February.
What type of inspections you do in schools?
School, we decided in our health department to kind of focus on safety and sanitation. It's never been done before. We don't have a state guideline, but there is a Kansas state statute saying that we have to do it now. So those were the main things that we were looking at when we went through there.
And schools were welcoming or good partnerships?
Yeah, everything went well. It was a good first time. Now we kind of know, after we've seen all the schools, what things to focus on next year and where certain schools were stronger than others, to go back and resave all of our inspection data that we collected, and so we can look back next year and see if those things were corrected or if there's still a problem.
Any other questions? Well, good information for National Public Health Week. We appreciate
Yeah.
that.
And then now I need to move on to personnel discussion
Okay.
in executive session.
All right. How much time would you like?
I probably don't need very much, maybe 10 minutes.
Okay, that's good. I move that we recess an executive session in order to discuss personnel pursuant to KSA 75-4319 would-be performance.
It would have to be
Okay.
specific to an individual.
That's
so-
specific to an individual,
Yes.
so we'll go personnel performance. Pursuant to KSA 75-4319B, item 1, personnel matters, non-elected personnel performance, with commission Brad, Tina, and Krista, for 10 minutes from 12:50 to 1 o'clock. That's my motion. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Waring. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0. We'll be back at 1 o'clock.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right, we're out of executive session, no decisions made. I believe the next item is looking at the Safe Kids CDDR Chronic Disease Risk Reduction Program Coordinator job description.
That was in your packet.
Yeah, it's in the packet. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Krista about that job description?
The red was all taken out or added?
Red is an edit, so if there's a line strike through, then it was taken out.
Okay.
But it could be an addition as
Okay.
well, as long as there's not a strike through.
Straight through was taken out.
So the basic change is the position used to be Safe Kids Coordinator, period. Now we're adding the Chronic Disease Risk Reduction Program. So this person would be administering the 2 programs.
Yes.
So all the red print is the new responsibilities for the new addition.
There was some repetitiveness also in the prior job description that we removed some duplicates in there, or I removed some duplicates.
questions or discussion?
Was there anything that you found in the new description?
I didn't really have any concerns about the changes. Is that what you meant?
Yeah. Concerns with this county policy or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
If there aren't any other questions, I would move to approve the change from Safe Kids Coordinator to Safe Kids Chronic Disease Risk Reduction Program Coordinator. Is there a second?
I would second that.
Second by Commissioner Crowfoot. Discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0. Since that position would have an additional program to administer, I would move that the Safe Kid Coordinator position be moved from a pay band C to pay band E.
We should leave the Safe Kids Coordinator where it is, make this new position, and then pay band.
The Safe Kids Coordinator just combined
It
into
would be
this.
replaced.
It's being
So
I
that
just
you're
thought it'd be
basically, I think what you would maybe want to do would be to set, kind of as Commissioner Gary said, but set that, this combined position in the pay band that, but I don't know that you would keep just a Safe Kids Coordinator, that it would be eliminated.
Okay.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I was just thinking, if it was a new person, would you put them in there, would you put them in there? So,
I think that if you wanted to, at some point in the future, go back and separate the programs, you would need then
okay.
a new job description and a new placement for whichever program, but as a combined program, I think.
Just doing everything,
Yeah, I know, I'm just
one person.
trying to think without the individuals involved.
So I guess restating, did I say this motion?
Yes, you had started to make a motion to.
I guess my motion, I was, in light of your statement, Commissioner Gary, I would simply set the Safe Kids Coordinator, Chronic Disease Risk Reduction Program Coordinator position in a pay band E.
Second that.
Okay. Is that, then that, I
Yeah.
was muddying the water, you
Yeah.
heard that. Okay, second by Commissioner Gary. Discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Motion carried 3-2. Anything else, Krista?
Believe so.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good public health
We
week.
need to set it off at a step.
So if you're going to have an employee entering this position, it wouldn't hurt to set which which step they would be on and the effective date of that. And then you would need to, that one, you need to say the name of of that individual.
Effective date would be
July.
It would be July 1st, right?
Thanks for clarifying that too. Well,
Try.
okay, then I would move to make the Safe Kids Chronic Disease Risk Reduction Program, I should have that down by now, coordinator position. We earlier said the pay band E at step, set it at step 8 to be effective July 1st. Is there a second?
Is that step 2, you said?
8 for the current employee that would be shifting from Safe Kids to Safe Kids Chronic Disease Risk Reduction Program Coordinator.
Second.
Okay, we have a current employee as the Safe Kids Coordinator. That employee will be becoming Safe Kids and Chronic Disease Risk Reduction Program Coordinator. That would take effect July 1st. The pay set for that person would be a step, a program pay band E, step 8. Then we have a second from Commissioner Barron. Discussion?
Have they already attained that education?
They have, yes, they are certified in both safe sleep and car seat.
And I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay.
Nay.
Motion carried 4-1. Now I think we got it. Thank you.
I'm thinking,
Yeah, I'm
don't want
glad-
to bring this back next week.
Well, that's
Well, what do we do?
You're exactly right.
Thank you, and
Yes.
happy National Public Health Week.
Thank you, Kristen. Okay, Marcy.
She's not out there right yet.
Okay. Well, we're
Thank you, Tina, for
6 minutes. Yes.
I had my thought process. I just didn't know how to put it out there.
I'm kind of good at interpreting usually. I try to.
That's so bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I hear Marcy now. We're early.
Okay,
Come on in.
I just wanted to make sure that was okay.
Get in early and get it out. Get out early. I know
That is
you've
right.
had a terribly busy weekend and are very concerned about tomorrow.
Yes, yes, I am.
I want to thank you for all your work over the weekend and the fire departments. I know they were on numerous calls yesterday,
Friday,
Friday, and
Saturday, yeah.
Saturday, every day.
They did a really good job though of keeping it contained to one location. So, they did an excellent job. Now we do have, people calling in yelling at dispatch because the April 1 started the Flint Hills Smoke Management Plan.
Yes.
But that's a Kansas administrative regulation. That's not a Marion County rule. That's a CAR. So if they're upset about that, they need to call their legislature, not us. We can't do a thing about it.
Well, the other thing is I'm concerned about people calling and being unruly with our dispatchers.
Yeah.
That's inappropriate.
Okay, tell me the 16 county burn ban, because a fireman, quite frankly, has stated it, I believe. So you tell me about the 16 county burn ban.
During the month of April, from April 1 to April 30, there are 16 counties under the Flint Hills Smoke Management Plan. What it is designed is for pasture burning and only. No burn piles. So now there are exceptions within that, and it's actually, I've got the number here if you want to look it up, or I'll print you a copy. But basically, the burn piles you cannot do. And then it's specifically designed to burn pasture land, and that's it. Now, the reason why it came about, according to Kansas Forestry and the KS Fire website, is Nebraska got upset that so much smoke from Kansas was coming up during the month of April. So they restricted what you can burn in the month of April to kind of help with the air quality that is ending up in other states. That's why it is just pasture land and CRP and things like that. So there are specific requirements within that.
What's the difference then between that and the state policy?
That is the state policy.
That is state policy.
Right.
So why do we have 16 counties? It's just there, if the whole state's that way.
They included the 16 counties because the whole plan was designed for the Flint Hills. The plan started because of just the Flint Hills. And the state uses it kind of statewide during this month.
And Marion County's not included in that.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yep, we are one of the counties listed in that CAR. And I did put that for verification. I did put it on the my Facebook page today. Because I got a boatload of questions of that over the weekend. So my top 3 questions I actually put on Facebook. Here's the question I got and here's the answer. And one of them that I kept getting is, well, Marion County's not included. Yes, it is.
In the past, I feel like we've done a resolution every year
On,
for the, or there have been times in the past where we have done, I'll have to look that up.
okay. Yeah, because
As
it's
a
a,
participant in
But we really don't have any choice in the matter. We are part
no,
of it.
Is it, so it's the entire county, it isn't just 77?
No, it's the entire county.
No brush piles.
no.
That's why there were a lot.
It's
of
been that
going up
way now
last week.
it's been that way for a number of years.
Yes.
At least 7.
But this 16 county, I just didn't understand, all of a sudden it's here, and we've been doing it statewide, the same thing. No burning, no brush piles, nothing like that, just agricultural pasture.
Right,
And
during the month of April.
during the month of April, yeah. And then all of a sudden we gotta have a burn ban for 16 counties during the month of April.
Well, it's just on brush piles. You still can burn grass.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
So burn ban really isn't accurate. The burn ban is only on brush piles.
Yeah, it's just brush piles, that's it. There's a lot of confusion there.
That's why
I
we
had a
check-
call Saturday,
Yeah.
why is
Yeah.
there so much smoke in the air? And I said, well, I can burn grass.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
not brush piles.
Right.
So you'll see burning of, like this weekend, there was 60 acres, 100 acres, 120 acres. You'll see a lot of pasture burning.
Correct. I'm not with the program here because we've had that, in, like I said, Kent, we've done it for years.
Right, the brush piles
And
in
it
the
just-
pasture.
But
The normal populations doesn't understand
Yeah.
it. They see that, they think
You
it's a
call it
burn
the
ban for
grass.
everything.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure you cut.
Yeah.
Well,
properly,
and
so-
there's stipulations within that Kansas administrative regulation for like, especially on tribal lands, they have ceremonial purposes, so
Yes,
that's
yes.
exempt.
Mhm.
They're
There's
not,
others.
you can make more restrictive regulations than this car, but you cannot make less restrictive than the car. So that's one of the things, you know, if you've got a burn pit in your yard, that's not included with this, you know. But if you dig up a whole bunch of trees, throw it in the middle of your backyard and want to light a match to it, not in April you can't. So
We've had-
that's kind of the difference.
We had one fine citizen in South Olive in Peabody that, yeah, I got a permit. Told the officer that Saturday.
Nope.
No, you didn't get a permit from Rankin County.
No. But just, again, the terminology, I think, is what confuses people when you say burn ban. It's not a burn ban on grass.
Correct.
It's burn ban on
Burn limitation.
limitation
Yes.
is a much better word. And even under that, like Marcy said, days like tomorrow, it will be a burn ban period.
Well, we have one in effect today.
And you have, that's right.
Um,
Update us on that.
The fire chiefs met this weekend, and as you all know, what happened the last catastrophic day with El Dorado and the loss of the homes and evacuations and closing down 35 and things like that. They went ahead because tomorrow is going to be catastrophic again. The RH is way too low. We've got too many dry fuels out there, and the wind speeds are going to be 60 miles an hour. A fire, once it starts, it's going to get out of control quick, just like what happened in Butler. So the fire chiefs met and said, don't burn on Monday because you won't have time. By the time this hits on Tuesday, that stuff's still burning. It can,
Still be fire.
They have to extend that to Wednesday the way it looks.
well, right now, it's just, we've got catastrophic conditions. We're under a fire weather watch until April 5th at 2 a.m. So, or April 4, 5, 6 until 2 a.m. So, right now, that's the catastrophic one. They'll revisit it on as conditions change and things like that. But yeah, they just decided for today, no. Because on Friday, every single one of the calls that our fire department got called out to were previous control burns that got out of control. There was not one on Friday that was not a control burn that didn't get out of control during catastrophic. So that's, you know, they said, okay, we've already had precedent, let's go ahead and do it on Monday, nothing. So. And just so you guys know, I did, you asked me to attend some more training. I went to an operational coordination training. We did CRMCS training, which is our credentialing system. We did supply unit leader training, staging area manager training, air support training. We even did an exercise with the IMT teams. And then I've also attended a disaster recovery exercise, which actually included myself, planning and zoning, Hillsborough Hospital, and the county clerk's office. There was several things from both of those trainings that we are currently working on. I'm working on fixing the credentialing procedures for Marion County, and we're working on recovery plan elements to develop a long-term recovery plan for Marion County. So that's
Very good.
what I've done since I saw you last.
Sounds like it was good training.
Yes, yes. Lots of stuff to do to bring us kind of up to the level, but it was great, and Tina can comment on this too. Both Sedgwick County and Butler County were there, and as you know, they're still going through long-term recovery from their tornado. So it was great having those two counties there explaining what they're going through right now and what things different counties can do to help with that long-term recovery like they're doing. And they gave us examples and things to do and suggestions that they have. That was probably one of the best parts of the day. So.
Other questions for Marcy?
Okay, and then I think I have an executive session. Is that correct?
Yeah, you probably should start out there, and then if it doesn't, if it's to discuss specific performance, you have to start out there, and then you can come out.
Okay,
10 minutes, 5 minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, all right. I move that we recess an executive session in order to discuss personnel performance pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item 1, personnel matters, non-elected personnel performance with the commission, Marcy, Tina, Brad if necessary, for 10 minutes from 1:20 to 1:30.
Phyllis,
Second by
That's
Commissioner
great.
Gearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
that's the card.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0. Be back at 1:30. This is where
There it is.
a workman's comp.
Yeah,
And the attorney's watching.
I'm sure.
How are we gonna get out of there?
there's no workman's comp on
There
any
was
data.
absolutely
You saw
no
nothing.
admonition.
You saw that?
Nothing.
There's no workman's comp on any data in supply.
Okay, I
Conference
think
will
everything
now
is
be
on there.
recorded.
Okay, we're out of executive session, no decisions made. So Marcy, did you have any other updates on the training you'd like to share with us?
I do have notes from the training. If anybody wants to see those, they're more than welcome to. And also I've added some stuff to the EM truck that was recommended from the training. So there's also some different accountability boards and things like that in there in case for some of our bigger disaster calls. So it was very good training, and thank you for
Good.
letting me go.
Very good. The interaction and the things you learn and bring back all help Marion County, so appreciate that.
Hopefully, yes. So thank you very much, guys. Have a good day.
Hopefully it's quiet tomorrow. Yes, indeed. All right, next item on the agenda is county administrator discussion.
Can I take you back to,
Vacation.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Marcy does
I'm
have
sorry.
some vacation that needs to
Yes,
be carried over.
I'm sorry.
And that needs to happen by official action of the board.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you, Tina.
I believe it's 90 hours that would need to
90 hours need to be
September 1.
to September 1. Yeah, I'll make that a motion.
Okay, there's a motion by Commissioner Garing to allow emergency management director until September 1 to use up their 90 hours vacation. Is there a second?
Roll the
Roll
Second.
over. Second by Commissioner Dalkey. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Tina. All right, administrator discussion. This was really targeted more toward getting the ball rolling on the process. We took action to establish the position, gave a few months to let things settle down. Now it's time, if we're going to move forward with the position, to make our plan of attack. I know several of us are very intent on using a professional service to help with the job description and then finding the right person. If we do that, then we need to get our plan together for RFP. So I guess that's what the point of this discussion
Do
is.
we have a recommendation yet on the consultant?
No, I think that the process would be to do an RFP for the consulting firm. So look for
Okay,
proposals
right.
from,
So we're our steps. We approve the
Right.
position, the next step would be the selection process. If we're going through the consultant process, then we need to send out a request for a proposal to select a consultant to then help us get through the next step of the
Right,
process,
right.
and then finally get down to the goal of finding the candidate. No.
There's a list of headhunters, for lack of a better word.
I think Tina's already compiled a
Okay.
pretty good.
what were you going to say now?
As long as there's a list available, you know.
Okay, I thought you were going to tell me of a list that you know of.
No.
Okay.
No, I think I provided one name. I didn't know where
Okay,
that went.
so we have had, I have done a little bit of research just because I knew that it would be coming up. So we've done a little bit of research. There are some agencies that can provide the service, like through the league, I think they have a service.
League of
There's
Municipalities.
different HR consulting firms that provide the service. And so we've done a little bit of legwork in our office, just kind of checking with different places to see if they do that. So we do have a short, kind of a list of maybe 4 or 5.
What about a former administrator that doesn't work for a consulting service?
Well, I mean, if you have names of a firm that you want to provide to me or an individual, let me know and we can,
No, I had a call from one, but it's
Oh.
been 3 months ago.
so,
You want a job.
you mean to
you
do
want
it,
find-
to help us find someone? Okay.
Yeah, that's what we
So I think what would be helpful is kind of knowing what you want the firm to do so that we can develop that in the request.
Mhm.
And then if you have any potential people that we should send it to, if I can have that list, I'll provide all the draft RFP and the draft list of potential places to send it to the board for approval before we move forward.
Would the firms give us the guidelines of what we're looking for? I mean, as far as salary range and job duties?
Well, you've designated the job duties on the resolution, or at least a good
We kinda
portion of
mixed it,
them.
yeah.
So, you know, what we really need to know is what services you want those firms to provide to you. So for instance, you want them to seek candidates that might fit the qualifications, you want them to potentially help with those interviews and,
Pre-screen.
you know, provide recommendations. I mean, I just need to kind of know what kind of scope of work that you actually want from them. Do you want them to be the ones advertising it, include that in the proposal?
I think those are all good points.
We just went through it down at MidCap. And this company took care of everything. They did just about it all. And brought back 4. One of them dropped out before we even got to interview, and 2 of them dropped out. Then we ended up with 2 good candidates, actually 3 candidates. We did see 3. But it was handled by them, and there's California. That's how far off it was.
Were they included in the interview process?
They actually
Yeah.
interview them and select them,
Yes.
bring them
They
down to-
interview.
Yeah, they interviewed.
Okay.
to a
Yes.
small number, and then you
Yes.
get to pick from
Yes.
the top of the crop.
Correct, correct. That is, this company did a good job at it. I don't know whether even, I'll have to find out.
That's a
whether-
good question to the commission. Do you want the commission included in the interview?
Yeah, yeah, that's,
I think I'd rather have it narrowed down before we ever get involved with them.
I was gonna say that.
Well, I see that, but I mean, when it comes down to your 2 or 3 or whatever.
You got to, because personalities clash.
You don't
That's
have
the
to
one
take
thing
them.
that company can't do, is.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah,
have to take those
I don't
two or
want
three.
somebody from California saying this is the guy you need in Marion County, Kansas.
The chairman of the board down there, she didn't like the interviews. The one dropped out that had pretty good, you know, you thought, okay, that's the one.
Look
Just
good,
from-
look good on paper.
It looked good on paper, but anyway, it would have been good, but the price range was up here that they wanted, and our range was down here. And so, but anyway, the chairman of the board was upset that when that high one dropped out, she didn't want to take this one down here that had a good interview, and was supposedly in our price range, and we did hire her. But, yeah, it was a good way to do it, to where you said, get down 2 to 3 instead of going through 8. Or, you
Well,
know.
plus, you can have anybody that's had some sort of administrative background, but not in government, and they can pretty much load us with a load of bull and not be able to handle the job. They're not gonna be able to pull the wool over these people's eyes. They're gonna pull those people out before they ever get to that.
The difference in pay between California, this lead guy from that headhunter company, he said, you guys in Kansas just don't pay what we do out here in California.
That's why.
Well, a lot doesn't cost you $250,000.
No, he just, and then when it come down to vacation, that was another incident that was, the person was asking for 2 weeks, and some of the board didn't want to give any. And out in California, well, we start with a week or 2. So it was quite a difference of what you hear, different areas. So, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is pretty much agenda full.
Yeah,
We want to start.
I'd like, along with the RFPs, an interview with those. They could present their RFP, but also be in the room or online, so we could.
Do you want it set up to where, do you want to interview every single one, or do you want to look at the proposals first and then narrow down which firms you want to interview?
What's the proposal?
Yeah, look at the proposals first and then interview
Yeah, I
wherever.
don't know, sometimes the proposal can throw you off, and maybe they're just a little bit higher than the other one, but they bring something to the table that the others don't, you know? That's,
Well, you could, when you get the proposals back, you can determine which ones you want to interview,
Yes.
even if that's everyone.
okay.
Yeah.
We can either do 3 or 10.
Yeah. It depends on what the results look like.
Got 10 good ones, but to listen to all of them.
But the other thing I'd like in their RFP would be to provide a set of personnel prior to the hire of an administrator.
What does that mean?
So basically, making sure that the office is in order before that person is hired on. So anything that they need or things we don't have foresight on, that.
Since they're stepping into a
Brand new
position where
position.
there's no
Yeah,
established
there's
office.
no infrastructure for the position.
So you're just talking about having the office available.
Well,
So,
some of that.
would
some
you
of it-
want that company to do that? I mean, they wouldn't have any kind of, they don't have any,
I'm not talking about the company, but providing.
Knowing the
personnel.
background of Marion County.
Providing somebody on a short-term basis to.
I don't see that. I mean, okay.
I think you have to start with the new guy from the beginning.
Well, I don't want.
Training.
I don't want to set somebody up for failure either. I mean, You wanna make sure that they have the tools that they need.
Do you just mean that to make sure they have an office and a desk and computer and?
Some of that and some of the other.
You're talking about an interim.
Yeah, logistics, between, getting the rest of the county employees into an understanding of what this actually is.
You need a cheerleader to come
No.
in, get everybody excited about it.
It's more of an education.
So it would still be an interim though.
It kind of, but it's not actually an administrator, it's just.
It is,
more
but
of
it isn't.
A good retired administrator would be a good
So you'd be
candidate.
bringing in an educator?
Basically to just make sure everybody understands what this is. And then also making sure that the person that we hire doesn't spend the first 6 months of their employment getting things rounded up, figured out.
But that may be.
They will be anyway.
They're gonna have to do that.
I understand exactly what you're asking for from seeing it in transitions before, but it's gonna depend on who your candidates are. That person may wish to do that themselves, because they're gonna set up the culture that hopefully they feel will work the best within the organizational structure, and they're gonna wanna work directly with the department heads, and they're gonna wanna do that. I get what you're saying, I do, but I think you're probably still gonna find it, maybe depending upon who your candidates are, that you have someone to tell you, no, I wanna do that myself.
Everybody has their own style of doing stuff.
Yep.
Sometimes I think it might be more difficult
Yeah.
to bring 2 new people in rather than just bring in the person.
Person who's gonna do it.
There could be a lot of communication leading up to that from the board and.
Well, your interim would have a different job, basically a different job description.
And do these companies actually do
They
that?
don't.
Most of them, I don't know that that would be part of their typical scope.
What you're gonna find there is you'll want a human resources specialist, very much like we've used before, who would come in and look at your structure and say, okay, now if you're gonna go from top down, you're gonna have a city administrator versus all of these different department heads who had to carry certain duties, or Tina had to carry certain duties. Now you will change your structural format as follows, we recommend, and those kinds of logistical things, that will not be one of these companies. That's typically gonna be an HR company who comes in and does all of that. And the least of their concerns, although they're an element of it, will be the physical structure. Where's the office? How much support staff do they need? All that, but they will look at that.
But I heard out of your mouth, cities. The minute you stop city, county, 2 different worlds.
And I didn't mean to just say
Yeah.
cities.
Yeah.
I've done it with counties too, so. No, there's a significant difference in how they're administered, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But there's a significant amount of the same structural problems that exist in both, in a public entity, no matter where it is or what it is.
Yeah, so whether it goes well, whether it goes bad, no matter what, the boat gets rocked.
Go
I want to
absolutely.
make sure that it doesn't rock them off before they get started.
I heard.
So maybe what you want to include in the RFP is to, outline any services that they can provide to ensure a smooth transition into.
And then also with,
including but not limited to, or, I can figure out a way to word that to, if they do provide some sort of service like that, or they recommend a transition plan, what that is.
and then also the ability, say 6 months or even a year, that they will, at no cost, bring us another candidate if it doesn't work out. Well, no.
Good luck with that.
No, it does exist. Baker Tilly and some of these companies will
But you have to
give,
pay for it
you're
ahead of
gonna
time.
pay a pretty penny for
Yeah.
that one.
Well, I just, because, no one started all over again. If they were
Yeah.
already selected to go find this person, it doesn't work out. I need them to already know the mold and bring me the next one.
There was something on that contract that our lead CEO down there, the main person, handled all that part of it when she signed up with this company, but there was something after the other day when we was finally getting down to the end, well, if this don't work out, I will be with you for X amount of time. That was the person from California with this company, so, yeah, it's there, Joan, I don't know what, like what Brad said.
I'm not saying it's a requirement, but it's an expectation.
Would they be available? I mean, just like anything, you hire somebody, you know, in my business, I have to hire 10 salesmen to find one good one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
You-
So the first guy that we're gonna get, he's not gonna be here for about a year.
Wouldn't some of that be,
It'd be 3 years before we find a good one.
wouldn't part of that be covered in the contract?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to lay out, you know,
There's no guarantees.
that these are things that I'd like to see.
So, and the firm, you would want them to assist with contract negotiations? Is
Yes.
that, or,
I mean, I see your theory, it'd be good. We use the same company for the next 2 people,
Well,
you know.
and they should, I mean, if things fall apart quickly, they should have a couple people in the lineup that
Yeah.
didn't get selected that they can bring right back.
I guess, would that be a question in the
I don't know how you want to state that.
RFP?
Some, yes and no. Some of the companies offer that service, it's just that you know which ones do.
There's
It's
no
the number of zeros
guarantees.
at the end of their
Right.
contract.
LP
term.
Well,
It's just an additional charge.
Yeah, and that's fine, it's just, you just throw a number out there, you know, I know it's probably low, but 10 grand, and then you turn around and 6 months later, I gotta pay somebody else 10 grand, start the process all over again, and be without this position, when it could be rebooted in a couple weeks, and they are an extra $1,000 tacked on, or whatever their percentage is.
In your history, Brad, what have you seen as far as one of these consultant?
Cost-wise, 3,500 to 25,000 within the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna guess a lot of it is you get what you pay for.
Yeah. A lot of the things that you're saying, I want them to do, start
Each time.
3,500, now add 1,500 to 2,000 for everything you said.
Supplement,
Yeah.
supplement. Yeah.
And they will, there are certainly companies out there that will turnkey it for you.
Well, they're gonna spend hours, and a team of people, they're not gonna be just, you know, so you get, yeah, I mean,
This was, the ones we hired was a little higher, but I think they got 1450.
yeah.
Somewhere in that area.
But if it makes a quality pick, it's I mean, it's money well spent.
So do we have a complete confusion for you to put something together, or do you have like?
Pretty much.
Completely confused.
Well,
I mean, I'll try.
nobody else had the same expectations as me, so it's just really my preference right now. There's not a board.
Well, and I guess what it comes back to is a lot of what you're asking for, you know, down the road, if a lot of that'll should come back from each of the applicants on what they do provide.
Yeah.
It'll be part of their sales pitch to us on what they provide. But
But
it'd
if
still
we
be
don't-
nice to have the expectation in there.
If we don't interview all of them, and we just go off RFP,
Well-
then all of a sudden, this other person provided those securities, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
If we're
Yeah,
not
but the
gonna-
only thing that, you're not just looking at, when you get a proposal, you're not just considering cost only. You have to consider the cost and all the services that they're outlining and their references, you know, and, you know, so you should be looking at all those to determine who you're gonna interview, so, not just the low cost.
Right.
My question being, you just hired somebody, where are you gonna put them, what you gonna do with them? Are you gonna have that ready before we hire somebody?
And who's gonna do it?
And who's gonna do it, and all that kind of stuff, so, I mean, that's a pretty big question for
Set up
us.
personnel.
I don't see why we can't do those things in-house. You guys just make a decision and
Well-
move forward.
Have you seen us trying to build it around?
Have you seen this conversation?
There are,
Yeah.
okay, there's only really 2 options
I agree.
of
Tina,
where
agree.
you can put someone. So
Tina-
do you wanna talk about that now?
Yeah, let's do.
Because
Sure.
You know, that's part of it.
Right.
We do need to know where
Absolutely.
they're gonna go.
That's exactly right.
So, really, there's two options.
I want to utilize some of that attorney's office, old attorney's office over there.
The attorney's office or Road and Bridge, those are your two options of where to put someone.
I think they need to be closer. They need to be on,
Would be nice
they need to be on this
for
floor.
you
Yes. And that's been part of our, even though it looks like it's been chaos, we have had a plan in our
Shush.
Apparently, we didn't know about it
In the
then.
courtroom,
Well,
one down here.
I had it in my head. I don't know. If it lines up with yours, then I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, the attorney's office
Yeah, it's
is currently open, and yes, court services
It's
would
better.
like to use the attorney's office. But if it's available for the administrator's office, it would certainly be an appropriate location. Like Jonah said, it's on the right floor, it's in the right proximity to the clerk's office, because I think they're gonna be working hand in hand with the clerk's office. And it's already got a lock on it, yeah. But it would certainly be the easiest accessible, in my mind, and the amount of space should be appropriate. So that would, as Tina said, that would be a first option. A second option would be road and bridge space downstairs when that comes available. But I think Joan and I both come back to this, on this floor would certainly be the best logistical location.
What does everybody else think?
Oh, I agree.
But we have to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, we have
Yeah,
to get there. Okay, other questions? Tina, anything else you think we should need to muddy more?
Just go out for RFPs.
Just,
Okay, next one.
okay.
I got a lot of people who said, we're gonna hire an administrator, we better go back to 3 county council, county commissioners.
Okay, so no more communication between commissioners outside of this room?
That's not the point. The point is that the public wants to see, if, that's what they put 5 of us in here for, so that the county administrator didn't have to come in. They hired an engineer, so that maybe we'd have some help there with that. And so that's what they voted on, was to do that. And that's why they voted on 5, was to do that. Now you're throwing the county administrator out here with them. So they say, well, county administrator better be in charge and better do something. And don't need 5 of us going up there all the time. So there's that point of view that's out there, and quite a strong one.
You know,
And
I'm not gonna shut that down at all. I mean, I'll entertain that after that position is filled. And they are,
Been working.
and it looks like they're gonna work out. I don't have a problem with entertaining going back to 3. That's not we just need to see what the public feels like at that point.
we do have to make 4 years, and I don't know if 4 years has happened yet or not, since we went to 5. And
I just started my first real term, so it's 3.
We've done 3 years.
3 years. So I know it's a 4-year wait, so it could be.
2 elections in 3 years.
Yeah.
It could be at the next term.
3 elections.
Next year's term.
Oh, yeah.
Could be at that or the term.
And then
after.
you'd have to see if the old district lines fit.
Yeah, you'd population wise, see if it fits and see what's there, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna shut that down at all, but I think this step needs to come first and be securely in place before we talk about that.
Or a new commission comes in and get through the administrator.
Yeah.
Is there gonna be some job security in that contract with the administrator?
Well, there is. It takes 4.
Yes, but then there's only 3.
Well, if it goes back to 3, then it takes 2.
If it went back to 3, would 2 have to actually resign?
Right.
There's a way, remember it said it in when we read that, all that.
Yeah, no, the rescission of it can be done. I'm just
Yeah.
pausing because there's several ways it can happen.
Yeah.
Depends
Wouldn't be a
where the lines are.
resignation, because it's more of the positions themselves have to be paid.
And maybe 3 commissioners be in the same district.
They could all be at large.
No, I think we're a population.
Yeah.
Getting off track.
Yeah, we're
I don't think
chasing
that's
that
an
around a
that's an
little.
option with the county.
But I guess the point being of the discussion being the door is not closed on that at a future time. Of course, it's never closed on it. If 3 commissioners decide to pursue it, it can happen at
Yeah,
any time.
if the public wanted to put it on the ballot,
Yeah,
they have ways of getting it there.
Right. Okay, so back to the issue at hand. Any other questions you have for us?
I have no idea.
So you've got a list of 4, 5, 10,
I don't know.
20?
No. A few. I don't know. I haven't really done the hands-on myself, so,
Well, and then it'd still be advertised for the RFP, wouldn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
John has brought something up, Kent's mentioned it too. He knows of a retired administrator or something, I don't know who, don't care to know who. But my point being is what you mentioned, Jonah, is that, do we want to look for an interim for a year before you go out for a full-time? I mean, I don't, you brought it up.
No, yeah, I get it. I just,
And,
my contingency is based on,
How many years you wanna work on this?
this is.
Well,
That person I was talking about would be short-term, guaranteed short-term, because, and that short-term would be in the amount of time it takes this process to get completed.
Yeah.
And by then, hopefully that short-term position is done what they need to do, and the new person comes in.
Yeah, because this person, I don't know who Kent's talking about, don't care, I'm just saying that.
Well, I don't think that they had any inclination
They
as
were
working
wanting
as
to
a
head on.
interim.
Yeah.
It was just, if the county needed some help, maybe looking for some candidates, get some of that. It was just a feeler.
Somebody with feeling that's been there and run by administration on the county side would sure be nice to have in your hip pocket, I would think.
Yeah, I don't know if this person had any county, they had city.
Oh, okay.
3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't know if he'd even entertained something, I was thinking of another county's ex.
Right.
I thought maybe that's who he was talking about, didn't know.
I had one about 3 years ago that was willing to do it. Anyway,
All right.
RFPs by,
I can't tell you that because
no, I
This-
mean,
You know, put together for.
before you go out for RFP. I mean, we want to set a date.
I don't know how long it's gonna take me based on this very random conversation to come up with criteria. I'm gonna have to do a little research, I think. So, I would prefer not to.
Let's not say,
Okay.
Tina will keep us
But-
posted. How's that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try. It's just gonna take me a little bit of time to figure that out.
We got the discussion.
I mean, if you have a general time frame of when you wanna try to have things going, maybe, I mean, having that discussion is good. And I guess I'll tell you if it's possible for me or not.
I don't wanna put a deadline on you.
So, but in general, are you wanting, I mean, you would wanna try to review, have something to look at and review and potentially send out by, I mean, I'm thinking the end of the month.
Yep.
Obviously in May.
May first.
Yep.
And so then you'd have to have that,
Let's target.
and then,
We go from there.
The ball
May
bounce.
send it.
And only with the drop.
Yeah, we just keep.
And then how long would you want it to be out, like 6 weeks
But
6 months.
for the firms?
Well, maybe not. 6 to probably 5.
Is there any schools that teach county administrator?
yeah.
No, but
Wichita
Any
State.
schools that we could send information? People are graduating here in a couple of
One of
weeks.
the,
Wichita
one of
State.
the
Wall
contacts
School.
I have is through the Hugo
Hugo
Wall.
Wall School.
That's where I got my mini,
Okay.
MPA. But there are others, not just Wichita State, but
That'll be a source. It will be. For whoever does the work.
I mean, we're in prime, we're looking at jobs now.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can do it, you can train him your way.
So,
Maybe.
potential.
Be a better chance.
Thinking you need a veteran.
Give them 6
Then
weeks,
we
that's
would need
March,
an interim to be
June.
working with this person for the next 2 years.
Maybe set the month of
We'd have
July,
two of
you'd
them.
be able to review and interview.
Yeah. Because you gotta give them at least 6, 8 weeks.
So you
Okay,
could potentially
what-
interview firms and select someone
Right,
during the
right.
month of July.
Just make sure we have the most intensive stuff for us during budget, right?
You're gonna have your
That's what you
budget done
want.
before July 1st, so if you then, after budget's done, then you can do your interviews for your
Yeah.
firm to help you with this, and then maybe
The general timeline. yeah.
give them like whatever their 6-month timeline or whatever it is from the process.
Okay, very good.
We can put you at the end of the year.
Yep. Allowed the delays and we're there. All right, anything else? If not, we'll shoot for the end of the month for that to review. All right, Bryce, Road Bridge.
He was over there. We looked in here and walked off.
Didn't pace
Me
it.
earlier, so he was here.
If Bryce is available, we are ready.
He was out there a little bit ago.
Don't hear him.
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
He being quiet.
Yeah.
I wonder if the speaker's not on the TV maybe. Usually I can hear it. I hear my voice down the hall.
Got stereo.
I don't know how they put up with that in the office. We are ready.
Phyllis said, "Come on down." I said, "Is it the price is right?"
You're the next contestant.
It depends.
And she said, "Probably not." So anyway,
Thanks, Phyllis.
well, I just, so-
It really shocked me that I didn't hear you out
oh, come
there.
on.
There's nobody else in the hallway.
You know, if I want to get treated like this, I'll go home.
Have a good day, guys.
Yes, yes.
Bryce, they took action to cancel that project.
I heard that.
Okay.
Yep. I passed word on. I said I would follow up with minutes to postpone the
Okay,
process.
very good.
Yeah, they just want to, if it's gonna be off the books, get off the
Yep,
books.
get it off the books.
Yeah,
Very
so,
good.
okay, a couple things here, besides the big one at the end, which we'll talk about. The Kansas Pre-Con is scheduled for this Thursday at 3 p.m. We're gonna do an ag service over there. They volunteered their stuff and a lot of them would be involved. That will actually be the pre-con, do all the formal stuff, and then they will have a, open to the public at 5. They're gonna invite the landowners and whatever else that wanna be there to talk about the schedule and sequencing and stuff like that. So, anybody that wants to come to that at 5 o'clock is welcome, so,
On Thursday?
yeah. Being there for the pre-con itself will be pretty boring, but,
5 o'clock Thursday evening?
yeah. So, anyway, that's the way it's set up. They're, I guess, tentatively shooting for May 1st. That's when the dirt contractor was available.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're gonna get to it. And, sounds like they wanna hit it pretty hard and get it done, cause they've got other work to go to. So, anyway, so we'll discuss all that.
Good.
With the pending vacation of the OA position downstairs, I guess commission input on whether you wanted to go back and fill the position. With the new program and stuff, it's taken a tremendous burden off of our office with the PubWorks. But you've always been kind of concerned about at least having two people for phones or whatever else. Now, with that being said, if we're moving up to the new building, we'll be able to combine a little bit more. We'll have more people available, but just throwing that out there, that something to think about what you guys want to do.
When is the last day?
Mid-May, somewhere around there.
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, but anyway, that, just throwing that out there ahead of time.
Right, right.
So,
Yes.
Bryce, you mentioned tech position and didn't happen yet.
right.
I wonder if there's some way that this can happen between those two positions, tech and a.
I'm all for it.
I
Yeah,
I don't know, I'm just
Yeah.
Just
If I
throwing
if
this
I could,
out.
yeah, if I could find somebody that had those
skills.
skills, yeah, it'd be great. And like I said, you know, being up there will help because there'll be more people available. But the other thing that I was thinking about, you know, having three departments in the same building is, I don't know, something to work out with the phone system is, okay, do we still have the dedicated lines, or do we have lines that come in that could be routed, or do we have like an automated system that if you call in and say you're looking for such and such, you can be routed to a different number?
No.
So, you don't like those?
No.
Okay. Just, like I said, just throwing those things out there that, but we will have other people available, but again, if you want to have two people, we can sure do that, so.
The quicker you get to a human, the
And
less
I-
furious you become.
And I understand, I understand.
And when they're already calling, probably mad, don't wanna make them more mad.
Yeah.
So
You know,
in the long,
it's easy to push one for road department, push two for, I mean, that's the way most of the government offices are nowadays.
And I don't know if that's because there's no human there, or, you know, unfortunately, that's what it is.
You don't have to answer the phone that way.
Well, I just, you know, like I
Puts
said.
it right into their mailbox.
Yeah, yeah, just,
I guess come back to where you started on the conversation, the second administrative person downstairs. I think Commissioner Dalkey had a pretty good idea. That's a potential.
like I said, I would love to shoot for that. I can try that, you know, that 50-50, whatever that percentage is again.
Yeah, whatever you set
Yeah.
something up like that.
But I think the commission's hope was with some of the automated programs we put in place, it would relieve some of
Yeah.
the, and it sounds like it has.
It's been fantastic. It really
But
has.
then the other consequence there is you don't have that second person
Yeah.
in the office.
I'm still doing my darndest to keep her to stay.
Yeah.
I ask her every day,
Yeah.
you know, she hasn't reconsidered yet. So I even ask her husband as well, and anyway, so.
But, okay.
All right, well, I'll try to work that way and come up with it. This Wednesday, we have the North Central Kansas meeting that I sent you a message, so I'll be attending that. That's in Milford.
Are any other commissioners able to go?
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't either.
So anyway, just letting you know I'll be up there.
Bring us back full report.
There you go.
Or steal what you can from the.
Borrow. Then we also have a dig safe meeting in McPherson Wednesday night for those of us that want to go. That's a yearly thing we put on, so. The only other thing I had was discussing the bridge damage up there. Brad and I have kind of talked about ahead of time. Unless you guys have anything else, we probably need to do it under executive session
It's
for.
potential litigation.
Yeah, so.
Okay, is there anything else for Bryce before we go into executive? I guess we'll have a chance. How long would you like?
30 minutes.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot to discuss.
Okay. I move we recess an executive session in order to discuss, I'm gonna guess, discussion with our attorney.
So to discuss potential litigation
Potential.
pursuant to.
Okay, potential litigation. Pursuant to KSA 75-4319B, item 2, consultation with our attorney-client privilege. Commission Brad Tina Bryce for 30 minutes from 2:10 to 2:40. Second by Commissioner Dalkey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Be back at 2:40.
It's already passed.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we're out of executive session. No decisions made. Do you have anything else for us?
That's all I have unless you guys have something, so we'll keep working and.
We will have the last letters. Commissioner Becker and I'll have the last letters to you Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks. All right, Brad.
A couple of things we can do in open session so
Okay.
Phyllis doesn't have to move. As to the meeting regarding transfers, I think everyone, I know that at least 2 of you know about it because they're intending to be in attendance. We're doing that. We finally were able to settle upon the 6th.
So it is going to be on the 6th. Okay.
At 10 a.m. Location is still in question. We'll ask for word Kurt asked me, where do you want to have this? I said, you tell me. So I'm assuming here, but, you know, I don't know exactly where.
Just let us know.
But we'll get that
In
resolved.
Kansas.
Yeah. Marion, yeah.
On the property, hopefully.
Okay.
This Thursday.
Yeah. And then on 1220 East Main, I lost track. Where are we? Have we set up a closing on that?
You haven't, you were gonna bring an agreement that didn't say draft on it for them to actually accept and sign.
That would explain why I can do that.
And then,
I thought we did. No. Okay. We haven't signed that yet then.
no.
No,
Okay.
we agreed to it, and we were waiting for the
Yes, that's
document to
my fault.
sign.
I thought we'd just take that off because it was watermark, but that's fine. I'll
Well, I
wait
don't
till-
have it
You don't have it anywhere?
electronically, or I would,
I thought you
I-
did.
no.
Could you send it to Tina?
Yep.
I
And
mean, because we could do that today if you
Yeah.
have it.
let's do that.
I'll call them and have them send it right now. So
Perfect.
that's done. I pulled out everything that I can find on the various elements of discussion on the lake, and I'm preparing draft templates for Isaac for those, and then bring those to you.
And you talked to him about the items he had on those?
I did not. I had talked to him previously, so I
Give him a follow-up
Okay.
call or email on those, because he had some notes from our own.
Okay, from when you guys talked
Yep.
to them.
It may not change anything, but just double check before you go to all the work.
I'll do that. The others are litigation matters, so they will all be part of the same, one and the same, that we're about to enter.
Okay, so we can do one long one?
One long one.
Okay. And how much time would you like?
I think with regard to Mr. Holder, probably, let's say 20 minutes. We may be able to take care of things in that time frame.
I move that we recess to executive session in order to discuss potential litigation pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item 2, consultation with our attorney-client privilege with the commission, Brad, Tina, Sharon, and Andrew Holter.
Mm-hmm.
For 20 minutes, 2:45 to 3:05.
Is it actually potential
potential.
litigation?
It's actually
or
litigation.
So.
Oh, it's actual
Yeah,
litigation.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Tina, I appreciate that. Actual litigation. Or just litigation, period.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a second? Second. Second by Commissioner Becker. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carried 5-0. We will be back at 3:05.
Yeah, that's a
This
good idea.
conference will now
I
be
got really good
recorded.
at myself. They kicked me out to eat.
I got you.
You graduated, huh?
Yeah, but they didn't give me a cake or anything.
If it's not like
I asked them for it. So
All right,
they might
we're
be
out of
able to find
executive
it
session.
later.
No decisions made.
We'll get the visual
Thank you,
right
Sharon.
now.
Thank you.
Isn't that part of
Was
the
there anything
message
else
that
on
gets
your?
out?
do you have
People
any
have
other
seen
ones?
from
Do you
all
have another
the
one?
Russia.
No, not for Sharon. No, I think we're okay.
Okay.
I communicate in another way. I don't want to make us go into another one for 5 minutes. I think we're fine.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
All right, what do you have for us next?
That was it. That's it.
That's it?
Mhm.
Don't you have a list of 15 items,
Mhm.
at least an hour or
Mhm.
hour and a half? of-
But I thought that these were kind of enough.
They were definitely high priorities.
And you sent the contract draft over here, so Tina's going to.
Okay. Good.
Maybe I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, they're not done with their meeting, but they've approved the.
Do we need to be in session to sign it?
Okay, you've approved it already.
All right.
It just requires your signature and then we send it
All
over.
right, commission comments? If not, is there anything else to discuss today? I feel like I'm forgetting something.
I'm not seeing an
It's
email.
just way too early.
307, that's pretty good.
Who's it supposed to be coming from?
Cameron, either legal assistant or Cameron Davidson. He's another paralegal at the office.
If there's no other business, I'd move to adjourn.
Second.
Second. by Commissioner Garrett. All those in-
Tina was-
Okay, I'm sorry, but I thought you wanted to approve and sign that agreement. That's the whole reason I'm looking.
Right.
But it was approved. I think I just assumed it was a signature on his part, because didn't we approve it for authorization of his signature last time? Yes, no?
You moved to approve the draft agreement.
And we had a previous months
Okay.
ago that
Yeah.
we can sign,
Yeah.
chairman can sign documents.
Okay, well, sorry about that. Then somebody just made a motion that I didn't write down.
I made a motion to adjourn, Jonah second. We have not yet voted.
Okay?
All in
Thank you.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0. I'll hang around to sign the document.